and my investments not be good. Because overall, the economy would be better. It would be better for everybody. And the other business operations we have would do better. It's a win-win. But I know that we're not going down that path. We're going the Weimar Republic path. And I've seen them do this, hammering the gold down and the silver down over and over again, and then it always retraces and only goes back up. But I guess it's taken 4 or 5 times of this happening in the last 3 years for people to finally get it. I mean, this is big news, Ted, that you're seeing 10 times the business you had a month ago, 2 or 3 times any previous record you had to that, even in bull markets. How big of a deal is this, Ted, that the people finally get it?
Well, I mean, I can tell you it's certainly a turnaround, because in the past, when the market would fall, people would just back off and they'd quit buying. And, it would give opportunities for me to go on, okay, I can see that it's time for me to buy because everybody else don't want it. But right now, with the governments, and I keep saying governments, but it's really not, with them in there manipulating and trying to raise the reserve requirements to get into a futures contract, they're messing with the paper system. But obviously the people of the world right now are looking at it and going, you know what? I don't believe you guys. I don't think that we're running into better economic times. I can read the news myself. I mean, my goodness, look what CNN had reported. It says Greece, Portugal, and Ireland are on life support. Italy and Spain are exhibiting worrisome symptoms, and Germany and France, the healthy ones, are suffering from global economic malaise.
And our listeners have heard all of our experts and ourselves tell them no matter how big the bailout, it's only going to get worse. That's why our credibility continues to rise, Ted. What do you see happening with silver and gold coming up in the next few weeks?
Well, I mean, for sure, in the next few weeks, it's going to be questionable as to whether or not the globalists will lose control over the futures market. They may be able to hold gold and silver at the $1,600 to $1,700 level for a little while, but you know what? They will lose control, and it'll continue to increase. I can tell you this. In my lifetime, I've never seen a time where the dollar's gained purchasing power and inflation has gone in reverse, and I've actually been able to buy more with my money. It just hasn't happened. Cars have gone up. Everything has gone up. Houses and whatever, you name it. But now we're sitting in this crisis thing, and they're thinking that they can solve this problem by making it so you can't trade futures contracts. I mean, it's like, what they're trying to do is they're trying to pass legislation to force people out of the gold market, and that's just not going to happen. It's not going to push people back into the currency and think that paper's better again. People want to have gold because they know they can trust it. And that's why people are buying it right now, and they should be. And, perfect example as to why they should be getting involved with those silver dollars that we talked about and the video and the book. I mean, now's the time to be moving. You have the opportunity. The prices are low.
You're right, Ted. Folks, take advantage of it today. 800-686-237. Ted has 2 silver dollars, a great book, and a film exposing the globalist with shipping for $77. 800-686-2237. Ask about other radio specials when you call.
Hello, this is Steve Shank with an urgent update from eFoods Direct. Folks, we're all fighting huge food price increases. eFoods Direct has been doing all we can this year to help you get food before the perfect storm of exploding food prices from the 2011 harvest. During September, eFoods is giving you free shipping on your food supply orders. But you have to understand, we're entering the eye of the food cost storm. Ethanol is boosting gas prices and driving corn costs so high our wheat for bread is going into animal feed, and pasta wheat cost has doubled since last year. I strongly advise you to get your order in before the free shipping deadline, September 30th. Free shipping, including Alaska and Hawaii, ends September 30th. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Remember, you can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cal Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Coming up later in the transmission, I'm considering playing the audio. You can make it out, but I don't know if it's worthy of radio. It might not come across too good for our AM stations out there. It's up at Infowars.com. It's up at DrudgeReport.com at the very top. Easiest place to find it. You can hear the audio to the newspaper, and the governor is clearly, North Carolina Governor Bev Perdue, Democrat, is proposing suspending the congressional elections for the cycle so legislators can focus on fixing the economy. And it was serious. The newspaper has said it was like it was serious. This is the kind of stuff that's being talked about. We already have a super Congress. Obama's already launching wars without congressional approval and saying he doesn't need them. The federal government is spying on us without warrants. I mean, it's all come out. TomTom, Facebook, all of them are spying on us without warrants. Big time, in our face. And it's time that we face those facts. I want to go to Wayne Madsen on a host of issues, formerly with the National Security Agency. He's written for some of the biggest publications in this country. Really doesn't need much introduction on this radio show. His website's WayneMadsenReport.com. He's also worked as one of the founders of Electronic Privacy Information Center, EPIC, that just does great work. And he joins us today to get into, well, just a bunch of different issues. First off, Wayne, from what I've seen with the different telecommunications acts, the cell phones, the Facebook, the telecommunications systems, the OnStar, I mean, it's always been spying on everybody. This is a total merger of government and big corporations. From your research dealing with this, why do you think it's coming out now that OnStar's tracking you and listening to you with audio, and that Facebook's tracking everywhere you go, even when you leave Facebook, and TomTom's selling your data, or when you call and order a pizza, they're selling that data to the cops?
Well, I think this is something that's been going on as far as what's been on the FBI's wish list and other intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies for quite some time. And now we're finally getting the devil in the details. And this is something that first started under the Clinton administration when we had this huge battle over the government retaining encryption keys to be able to decode encrypted communications. And we fought strenuously against that. And the FBI and others always said, oh, we only do this in the event of a smoking gun, a kidnapping situation, all these, worst-case scenarios. And we always knew they were lying about it, that they just wanted to have these capabilities for their fishing expeditions. And lo and behold, that's what we seem to have now, that there is no criminal predicate when the FBI and the NSA and these other agencies conduct these forms of electronic surveillance. And here we have everything is basically fair game. Everything's on the table as far as surveillance is concerned.
Well, Wayne, where is this going? Because you have this coming out now. It's Facebook and TomTom and OnStar and the rest of them telling on themselves. They're trying to send out little customer announcements. Hey, by the way, our main business is not you paying for your subscription. We're tracking everything you do and selling it to insurance companies, you name it. I mean, this is beyond 1984.
Well, that's right. And I think what they're trying to do is cover their butts from lawsuits from customers and people who feel that their privacy has been invaded. We had this battle a long time ago, too, on the issue of opt-in or opt-out as far as, this type of surveillance is concerned. And clearly we have these companies now engaging in an opt-out, that you're already in their surveillance system, but now it seems like you don't even have the choice of whether to opt out or not.
Well, yeah, that was the new controversy, is they've always said, hey, we're spying on you, but people wouldn't read their little terms and conditions. Now they're saying, we don't care if you buy the car and never turn it on. We're going to track everything you're doing. I mean, this is an outrageous power grab.
Well, absolutely, and of course they're sharing it with not only the government, but they're selling this information to other companies. And people always say, well, what do you have to fear most, private companies or the government? Well, it's always been the case that the government and these private companies that traffic in this type of personal information are working together. So there's really no line between the two.
Now, Wayne, is there anything else you want to add on this subject before I shift gears to Libya?
I would just tell people, that they need to be. What I do when I meet a confidential source is I get rid of the electronics altogether. When I meet somebody, it's face-to-face, and I take precautions that I'm not followed, that there's no boom microphones or shotgun microphones in the area. And if people want to engage in personal and sensitive, confidential communications, face-to-face, it's the only way.
And even then, you got to watch it because they've got gunshot detectors in most cities that are actually high-powered acoustical microphones. They put these in 98 in Austin, and the actual government grant admitted that was a high-powered acoustic shotgun mics that can be directed and listened through the windows of your house from the vibration to the membrane that can listen to people hundreds of yards away. But they told everybody in Austin it was gunshot detectors to triangulate where the gunshots come from. And now they're all over the city in most areas, in parks, listening to everyone. Think about it. Land of the free, home of the brave, and OnStar admits they've got audio listening to you, and they're selling where you go to the cops and to corporations. And even if you don't want it on, it is. Now, looking at Libya, of course, you've been to Libya recently, and Gaddafi's still there, still fighting, but now it's kind of moved off the front page of the news. And we have the al-Qaeda commander who's in charge of Tripoli, and looks like he may be the new leader of the whole country, this Abdul Belhaj guy, now writing articles for The Guardian. We have that article out today at Infowars.com by Tony Cartalucci, breaking it down. But here's ABC News. A few weeks ago, they were worried about heat-seeking surface-to-air missiles that could take down any passenger liner they want. Now they admit thousands of them are missing and have fallen into the hands of al-Qaeda. And we're told they're having to move drones into Libya to bomb the rest of Africa because of al-Qaeda, but they just put al-Qaeda into power. So this looks like a real setup by the system to take even more liberties, saying they're protecting us from al-Qaeda.
Well, that's right. And we also know that from the ABC News report that now the Pentagon says they have to put personnel in Libya to be able to, get these surface-to-air, these man pads, these handheld or shoulder-launched missile launchers. And so what we're seeing now is a reason to put boots on the ground. Now, we always knew that there were special operations in there, but now it looks like the Pentagon is going to use this report as a reason to put troops in Libya. And it's just, it's another example of the U.S. Being ultimately behind, at least the CIA being behind these so-called al-Qaeda brigades all over the world. I have a story up at my website today how the CIA is basically using Al-Qaeda, Jamaat Islamiyah, as a reason to destabilize or a means to destabilize the government of Indonesia, just like they've done in Pakistan. So this is the real purpose of these so-called jihadist groups. It's destabilization across from Morocco all the way over to Indonesia.
And they used them against the Serbs and the Russians, everybody else. But if you have any geopolitical understanding, any common sense, you knock out Gaddafi, who's made peace deals, to put Al-Qaeda in, and then, now we've got to occupy the country and use it for AFRICOM, as you predicted, as I predicted.